You're watching Color 10 News at 10 in high definition.
An Arkansas group hits the road to catch texting drivers in the act. Hello again, everybody. I'm David Oliver.
And I'm Ashley Ketz. TextFace captures distracted drivers on camera, then confronts the driver and posts the video online. It's used as a teaching tool, mostly for students, but tonight in our No Text Zone report, we take a look at why the group is shifting its focus to the business community.
It's like being a loose cannon.
Angela Hines has spent the last year traveling to states without laws against texting and driving.
We've been to Texas, Oklahoma, and Florida.
Now the group known as TextFace is returning to the natural state.
The light that shines the brightest shines at home first. So we wanted to make our mark in the state of Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas where we originated.
The group is partnering with the Benton County Sheriff's Office to crack down on distracted drivers.
It is a threat not only to the individual but to everyone around you.
And now TextFace is reaching out to the business community, reminding employees texting in a company car or on company time isn't just dangerous, it could be costly.
The attorneys are looking for dollar signs. So they follow it right back to the employer. There are case after case after case across the country where that liability is being transferred and companies are being sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
In fact, most of the drivers they catch on camera are adults.
Businessmen and women, moms and dads, taking multitasking from behind the desk, out of the kitchen, and behind the wheel.
In a culture addicted to connectivity, the mission: break those bad habits before it's too late.
Turn the phones off, put them in the trunk. We've got to learn to practice self-control.
And the organization just launched a new website that highlights a different busted driver each day. You can also check out a calendar to see where the TextFace cameras are going next. You can find that all on ozarksfirst.com.
Also tonight, new at 10, as long as you're not texting, there is a good reason to have a smartphone in your car. Color 10, Justin Doherty is live right now to explain what Missouri lawmakers are thinking about allowing. Justin?
Most of us know the routine. You get pulled over and the officer asks for license and registration. And if you can't find the papers for your proof of insurance, you may be in trouble. But what if Geico, iFarmers, and your pocket agent were just as legal as a piece of paper?
License and registration, please. What's this?
It's my Geico Insurance ID card, sir. It's digital. Pretty cool, right?
Maybe.
Besides the whole pig driving a convertible, this Geico ad could soon be reality for Missouri residents.
There are other states that have already put this in practice and it's working very effectively.
There's the ID card.
Currently, 11 states allow citizens to use a digital certificate, download from an app, as a valid form of car insurance.
You cannot scan your paper identification. It needs to be directly from the insurance company to be qualified.
State Senator Gary Roman sponsors a bill that could make your phone just as legal as papers when it comes to proof of insurance in the state of Missouri.
This will make it very simple. It's not a replacement, it's an alternative.
Your smartphone is already used for multiple reasons, and Senator Romaine is trying to add to that list. So next time you get pulled over, take a look for your proof of insurance, see nothing, all you'll need is your cell phone.
I have the paper in my car somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I would just pull out my phone right away anyways.
Courtney McClanahan is not alone. Springfield Police Department's annual report shows last year more than 9,000 citations were given for no proof of insurance.
I know where my phone is at all times, but that thing could get lost in my glove compartment.
If you do go digital and something happens to your phone while in the hands of the officer, Bill SB 317 states the officer cannot be held liable.
That is a liability that you would have to accept as the owner.
The Missouri Senate passed Bill SB 317 yesterday, and now it awaits a vote in the House. And Missouri is not the only state looking to pass a bill like this. Actually, 18 states are looking to put a bill of this type into effect sometime this year.
Justin Doherty tonight live. Thanks. New tonight, a woman says a malfunction in her truck is the reason that she crashed into a home. This happened over on West Madison Street in Springfield tonight. Police say there was not much damage to the home. The driver was complaining of back pain.
Jamie Warner is watching all of the rain accumulating here in the Ozarks tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, soaking rains. Really, we've seen this rain since before dawn this morning here in much of the area, and it has really totaled up. Right now in Springfield, closing in on 1.75 inches, almost there in Joplin as well. Now, other spots maybe not as much rain, but still not too far behind. You can see down in Harrison over 1 inch of rainfall, over 1 inch in West Plains, and areas to the north also looking at about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. And much of the area is still looking at some light rain, and in a few spots we're actually finding some heavier pockets of rain. You can see some of that near Marshfield right now. Also, as you head south through Christian County into parts of Taney County, we find some heavy showers as well, and every once in a while maybe a clap of thunder with some of that activity. Those individual showers and thunderstorms tracking towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. There's likely going to be another wave of heavier rainfall probably well after midnight, but before sunrise it will at least clip our southern counties. We'll talk more about that later on. Here's a look at your Saturday forecast. That's right, it looks like it's going to be cloudy and likely still soggy, but better weather on the way for Sunday.
Jamie, thanks. 2 teenaged murder suspects made their first court appearance as adults this morning. Christopher Allen and Anthony Zarro, seen here during the hearing that certified them as adults, were both arraigned today. They're accused of the January murders of Paul and Margaret Brooks in Stone County. A judge entered not guilty pleas for both Allen and Zarro. They returned to court for a preliminary hearing in late May. A prominent Springfield financial advisor and political fundraiser has resigned from the bank where she worked. Nadia Kavner announced today she is leaving Bancorp South to open her own firm. Earlier this month, Kavner pleaded guilty to a federal stalking charge. Prosecutors say she traveled to Memphis, Tennessee to harass or intimidate her daughter's former boyfriend.
Air traffic controllers expect to be back on the job next week. Many have been furloughed due to federal budget cuts. Today, lawmakers in Washington approved a bill that allows the Federal Aviation Administration to move about $250 million to pay for the staff. Many passengers have been complaining about flight delays while the air traffic towers had fewer people working. Tonight, we asked Missouri Senator Roy Blunt about the situation.
It's helpful for them to show that they're giving up on this idea that you have to find the place of maximum pain anytime the federal government cuts any spending at all.
Senator Blunt was in Springfield speaking at the Missouri State Agriculture Forum.
Meanwhile, Missouri's governor says tonight a golf tournament in our state could be a terror target. Yesterday, Jay Nixon spoke at the State Emergency Management Agency's yearly conference, and he criticized the state Senate for cutting federal Homeland Security funds from the budget.
Turning down $21 million of federal money, quite frankly, makes absolutely no sense. We have coming up here in St. Louis on May 23rd, the Senior PGA, another worldwide event that will be sent to all across the world on TV, and is yet another target.
Nixon asked the first responders to help him convince state senators to restore the federal funding before legislative session ends in 2 weeks. And we have more political coverage for you here at 10 tonight. Nearly 6 months after losing the race for a U.S. Senate seat, former Missouri Congressman Todd Akin regrets the controversial comment that changed the election. Of course, Akin made national headlines when he said, quote, "If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try and shut that whole thing down," end quote. That comment, of course, derailed his campaign and reputation.
I'm not going to try to get even with anybody, or, because let me tell you what happens. If you start to blame everybody else for something that you didn't like that happened, it'll destroy you. It'll eat you alive.
Akin was a Missouri congressman for 12 years. When asked about getting back into politics, he says he will not rule anything out.
Country music fans are mourning the loss of iconic singer George Jones. Jones was known for heartbreaking classics like He Stopped Loving Her Today. His personal life was just as legendary. Jones survived battles with alcoholism, drug addiction, and 4 marriages, including one to Tammy Wynette. He died today after being hospitalized with a fever and irregular blood pressure. Jones was 81. New at 10, an appeals court says one of Missouri's funeral protest laws is constitutional, but the other is not. The state law requires protests to be at least 300 feet from a funeral. That is okay, but the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled a second law that keeps protests even farther away is too vague and too great a burden on free speech. Both of those laws passed back in 2006. Springfield is celebrating a pretty impressive milestone this weekend.
Yeah, 175 years as a city.
Springfield is a very unique community.
Tonight, the changes the Queen City has experienced over the years, which made it what it is today.
And if you haven't already liked us on Facebook, here's how you can do that. Go to ozarksfirst.com first, then hit the like button on our Facebook page. Local news tonight at 10. The city of Springfield is turning 175 years old this year. It was incorporated in 1838 and has a lot of history.
Indeed it does, and our Melissa Stern looks back now over the years to find out the milestones that made our city what it is today.
Springfield is a very unique community.
This city has always been a crossroads.
It was a crossroads of Indian trails because of the amount of water here. That brought the early settlers, which developed the city in its early days till the time in 1838 when it was dedicated.
Which gives Springfield its 175th birthday this year. And then it became a crossroads of travel into the Old West.
It was an easy place for people to catch the Butterfield stage and go on to the west.
This was significant because it brought a lot of people here, as did the Civil War.
Because of the travel in this area, this was on the fringes of the north and south, so people kind of flowed back and forth.
It also helped develop the community. And after the Civil War, along with the coming of the railroad in 1870, Springfield saw a huge influx of population, which has continued a steady growth until this day.
Early industry, like the Springfield Wagon Works, which helped to give jobs to the local people and help more people to come.
The next crossroads was Route 66, which came in 1926.
It brought a lot of people to the community and brought a lot of industry here because it was an easy place to travel to by truck or by car, and so they could use this as a place to manufacture goods.
Route 66 brought tons of industry, and the interstate highway system has allowed that to continue.
This was where it all started, in the Old West, right after the Civil War.
So happy birthday, Springfield. Now you know.
It gives you a feel for why the city is the way it is.
By the way, Sellers says all those milestones help the population grow and help Springfield go from being agricultural to industrial. And also, we could tell you there's a big birthday bash planned for Springfield tomorrow. It's at Park Central Square from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. There's going to be live music there, vendors, and a birthday cake, too. Admission is free.
Well, a lot of other events are going on this weekend, and Jamie, hopefully the weather will hold up for them.
Well, it looks like the weather, at the very least, it's going to be pretty soggy out there from rains from today and tonight. But I think tomorrow we're going to find additional shower activity. But the second half of the weekend does hold promise for those of you that want to get outdoors. Sunshine in 70s. I think we'll see it on Sunday. That's your full forecast coming up.
And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
All right, well, let's take a look at the rainfall we've seen so far since the beginning of the year, and then we'll talk about the rain that we've seen over the last 24 hours. And you can see the totals that we've seen since January through February, March, and April. While, yes, we've seen healthy rains just about every month, in fact, above normal rainfall every month, with the exception of February, and even in that case, it was just a little below. It hasn't been huge amounts of rainfall in any one particular month. So the rain has been steady. That 3.72 inches, that was through yesterday. We've added another inch and almost 3/4 to that total today alone in Springfield with the heavy rains that we have seen at times throughout the day today. And that's not even the heaviest total. Joplin, 1.7 inches of rainfall. Harrison, over 1.25 inches of rainfall. Over 1 inch in the West Plains area, almost 1 inch in Camdenton. So the entire area has seen soaking rains. And we continue to find at least pockets of shower activity. And we've got one batch of a fairly widespread, mainly light rain here from Lake Ozark east to Rollins south to Fort Leonard Wood through the Wayne Zanesville area. Here in Springfield, the rain's pretty spotty and light, but down to the south across Christian County, into Taney County especially, we've got a cluster of heavier showers, and that activity will be pushing east towards the West Plains and Mountain Home area here over the next couple of hours. Temperatures have been cool too, only in the upper 40s. That's playing a role, and I'll explain why here in just a second. I do want to point out to the west, and I kind of jump past that graphic, we've got this cluster of strong to severe storms here in Oklahoma. There's some upper level energy right there. That's going to be moving east overnight tonight and into the morning hours on Saturday, and I think that will probably be our next batch of widespread rain and thunderstorm activity. I'll show you that in the hour-by-hour forecast. For today and into this evening, what we've seen is this front draped to the south. Of course, north of the front, it has been cool. We've seen temperatures only in the 40s and 50s all day. And over the top of that, we've got this low-level jet sort of focusing warmth and moisture, and that warmth and moisture is sort of forced to go up and over that cool layer of air at the surface, and that's a really good way to generate widespread rain and some thunder, and that's exactly what we saw today and what we've seen tonight, and that's why we've seen the soaking rains. Now let's get back into that next wave of potential heavier rain. So we've got the scattered showers right now. That kind of moves on off to the east. Here's that next batch that's coming across eastern Oklahoma. This is at 4 o'clock in the morning. That will be moving across northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri. Now, I think areas north of the state line, the rains won't be quite as heavy, but south of the state line will likely have some thunder and some heavier rainfall potential, and then that will sweep east through 9 o'clock in the morning. Exiting after that point, we'll be left with cloudy skies across most of the area and still some pockets of mainly light shower activity through the rest of the day and into the evening hours. Now, once we get into Sunday, early morning clouds should give way to sunshine as we work through the morning from west to east across the area, and that sun, that's all we will need to warm temperatures up. But Saturday is going to be a cool day as a result of clouds and showers. Rainfall, on top of what we've seen, it looks like maybe another ½ an inch north of the state line and maybe a ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch, possibly an inch south of the state line. Now the pattern after this weekend, we get rid of that slow-moving storm. Warm air will follow that storm, and it looks like highs around 80 degrees Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures will hold steady tonight, maybe actually rise a little bit towards sunrise, but it will not get warm tomorrow. High of only about 59 here in the Springfield area. Should make it into the low 70s, though, on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday look great. Lots of sun, very warm, and then Wednesday comes around and the next front comes through with some showers following it and more cool air to follow it as well for Thursday and Friday.
But at least we get a few days in there of a break.
We get one little small window, and you know, so many weekends we've seen have been really, that's where all the nice weather's occurred, is on the weekend. This time around it's not working out that way.
At least for Saturday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
You know, I'm going to bust my butt to, you know, get the job done and help a team out wherever I can.
Eric Fisher says tonight he's thrilled to be a Chief.
Dan Lucy's coming up in sports with more from the NFL's #1 draft pick. And yes, St. Louis did play some baseball tonight. That's coming up too.
And now, the Chevy Dealer Sports Report with Dan Lucy.
Kansas City Chiefs introduced the NFL's #1 draft pick to the media this afternoon at their Arrowhead Stadium complex. Chiefs GM John Dorsey drafting Eric Fisher with the top pick last night. Fisher, an offensive tackle out of Central Michigan. The Chiefs grabbed him ahead of Texas A&M's Luke Joeckel. The consensus is that Fisher would be more effective in new coach Andy Reid's offensive scheme. Fisher stands 6'7", weighs 306 pounds, and will protect new quarterback Alex Smith's blind side. Fisher grew up in West Virginia, son of a single mom, and he's thrilled to be the 2013 #1 draft pick and a Chief.
I think this is a great fit for me. I'm just looking forward to helping a team out. I love the game and everything that comes along with it. Just trying to win games. I love winning. I'm a winner. I have a winning attitude, and until I'm, winning, I'm gonna bust my butt to, get the job done and help a team out wherever I can.
The NFL conducting its second and third round of the draft tonight. Chiefs picked tight end Travis Kelce with the first pick of the third round. Then the Rams got safety T.J. McDonald. St. Louis had the 92nd pick, went with receiver Stedman Bailey. And then the Chiefs got Arkansas tailback Nile Davis with the 96th pick. Brent Nealon not going to let a little rain or thunderstorm or just a deluge wash out his spring football game. The Crusaders conducting their last scrimmage tonight, JFK. This fall will be Elam's 4th at Evangel. Last year was 7-4. Evangel quarterback Andrew Brimall hits Michael Bowman with his 50-yard touchdown strike. And then back the other way, the Crusaders' Brent Dyers rolls and then hits Mitch McHenry, this for a touchdown. Brimall hitting Bowman again with another touchdown pass. No final tonight, but with all of the rain, everybody was a winner out there. The Missouri State Lady Bears introduced new coach Kelly Harper and her staff to the fans this evening. A town hall meeting called to answer some of the questions about the new ticket policy for JQH Arena. It was also an opportunity for diehard Lady Bear fans to reconnect with Lady Bear legend Jackie Stiles. Earlier this month, Harper hired Stiles. She only has 1 year of experience as an assistant coach, but Stiles played at Missouri State from '97 through 2001 and helped lead the Lady Bears to the program's second Final Four appearance. Stiles also became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer with 3,393 points.
It's almost like it's too good to be true. I pinch myself like, is this really happening? Because I was so happy, my 4 years here. I thought, it might have ruined my life because nothing compared to that experience. But now I've not been this happy since. Till I took this job, and I'm just so proud to represent what I think is the best place in America to play women's college basketball.
Missouri State baseball team had the right idea. The way to beat the rain is to leave town and head east. Tonight, Keith Gutton's Bears opening a 3-game series in Evansville. Bears have won 4 in a row. They're in first place in the Valley baseball standings, and the Bears have led this one 6-0 when Evansville would load the bases in the third, walking Keenan Maddox, and Spencer Johnson makes it 7-0. Nick Peachy throwing BBs gets Chris Pearson on the check swing there, and then he would get Shane Showers swinging. He would get the victory. Missouri State wins its 5th in a row, 9-5. The St. Louis Cardinals opened a 6-game homestand tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cards putting former Texas League Player of the Year Matt Adams on the 15-day disabled list with a strained oblique. St. Louis has won 3 straight, and they just have a half-game lead on the Pirates in the National League Central. Jermaine Curtis, Springfield class of 2012, making his Major League debut. He's taking Adams' place on the roster. Bottom of the first, Matt Carpenter. Deep to center, over the Bank of America sign, a leadoff homer. That makes it 1-0. Next batter is Carlos Beltran, and he would go deep to left. First time St. Louis has gone back-to-back to lead off the first inning since 2004. And then later in that first, Jonathan Sanchez would drill Alan Craig right there. So Sanchez gets thrown from the game, ejected. Pirates skipper Clint Hurdle also tossed. Lance Lynn throwing BBs gets Andrew McCutcheon looking in the third. 3-0 fifth inning when Beltran would belt this 2-run shot to right. It's a monster drive. Second homer of the night, 7-1 Cards. Those two will continue their series tomorrow afternoon at 3:15. It's 7-1 St. Louis in the 8th inning. The Springfield Cardinals, Kansas City Royals rained out.
Very good, Dan. Thanks so much.
We'll be right back.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Color 10 News will continue in a moment.
All right, wet weather tonight, tomorrow, but sunshine, that's still in the cards for Sunday, and 70s too, I think.
All right.
Even 80s next week.
Next week.
All right. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you for staying up with us tonight. We hope you have a great weekend.
The weekend is here, in fact. We'll see you Monday. Good night.